your life growing up. But I guarantee you, you're not going to hear it like this. Nowhere being preached like this. Are y'all ready for it?
Yes.
This subject, I have never preached out of the, I preached ever since I was 19. So I've been preaching 19 all the way to 42. How many years is that? I've been preaching and teaching. 20-something, right? 20-something, 23 years. I've never preached about this subject because there were so many other people talking about it all the time that I didn't feel the need to talk about it because I knew they were wrong the way they were preaching it. And it wasn't from the right angle, from the Hebraic perspective. Are y'all hearing that?
Yes.
So today, this is my first time teaching this lesson, but I know more about this lesson now, and I'm so glad that I've waited to get to this point in juncture of my life to begin to teach and talk about this, because I believe we have the right people here to do some extraordinary things for the kingdom of Yah. And I'm just getting ready to see what this place is going to look like after y'all get through with it. And I'm talking about the Yah in you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are y'all hearing that?
Hallelujah.
The Yah in you.
The Yah in you. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about, we're going to talk about tithes and offerings.
Okay.
Everybody say tithes and offerings.
Tithes and offerings.
We're going to talk about tithes and offerings. Now, y'all have to lose your joy, because you know when we teach something, we're going to be laughing, we're going to
Yes.
be, we're going to be learning, we're going to be getting things. Don't lose your joy, don't lose your fire. You know, usually when this subject come up, everybody get quiet, especially in the old churches that you come out of. You know, everybody get quiet talking about it, everybody get, all of a sudden they got to go to the bathroom, all of a sudden the children is acting up, they got to leave the sanctuary with the baby. Listen, I'm not about to tell you to give me everything you got, all right? But what we're going to do is we're going to get an understanding of what tithes and offerings is all about. Because there are a lot of people that come out of Christianity, they come out of all of these other places, and they've been giving their money all of their life, all of their time, and they treasure all this time. But then all of a sudden they get over to the Hebraic way, and they say, see, we ain't got to do none of that no more. We do the same thing the Christians do. They say we got to throw away the law, and they say, the law's been done away with. We do the same thing when we get over this way. We say the tithes and the offerings been done away with. And we don't understand that in order for the kingdom of Yah is not going to come with observation. You're not going to be able to say, there is the kingdom, or there is the kingdom, because the kingdom of Yah is within us. So that means everything that the kingdom is about is in us. And that includes our finances. Are y'all hearing this?
Yes.
And so we're going to talk about this today so that everybody can get a clear understanding of what tithes and offerings are all about, and if you're supposed to give something. Because for some reason people think that because they are now Hebrew, that they ain't got to give no more. They become, instead of Hebrew Israelites, they become Stingylites. Stingylites. They don't want to give nothing. And then we look at the condition of your life, and then we can see this is the reason, this is the result of a Stingylite. We can look at your life and tell why that you ain't been giving nothing, that you ain't been contributing to something. Okay? And we're going to talk about this because everybody think, the priests, all they had was cattle and grain and all these kind of things, and that's all we're supposed to give. I just give a pot of soup, and that's it. We're going to find out today, is that the truth or not?
Okay, right.
Because we need to understand.
Yes.
And if I don't never teach it, I guess you can't never hear it. Because faith comes by what?
Hearing.
See, you can't have faith about something, and faith is not just confessing it. Faith is not just saying I got faith, but faith is not belief. Faith is what? Hearing. Then what? Confirming. And then being able to teach others and convincing them that what you're saying is the truth.
Yes.
And cause them to follow you as you follow the Messiah. And then you become an artisan. You become someone that's able to teach somebody about faith. Not by what you say, but it's by what you do. Y'all hearing that?
Yes.
So we're going to deal with this subject of tithes and offerings. Everybody say tithes and offerings.
Tithes and offerings.
And usually people say that, oh, he got a building, I believe we grow, right? All right. The tithes and offerings. You know, these people say, oh, he talking about tithes and offerings. That means he must want a new Cadillac. No, I don't want a new Cadillac. You know, he talking about tithes and offerings. That means he just got that bill that he can't. There's a bill due or something. You know, people got all kind of different things already in their minds when you talk about giving. But when you understand that giving has nothing to do with somebody getting something from you, and I'm not talking about everybody, I'm just talking about here. Because I'm not interested in getting nothing from you. I'm more, I want to get something to you. Are you hearing me? And the Bible says that he has given you pastors that shall feed you with what? Knowledge and understanding. That's what I'm trying to give to you. Knowledge and understanding. And then after it's been taught and you understand it, then you can make a decision. Is that fair?
Yes.
All right, so this is not a message to try to twist your arm into something. This is not a message to try to say, I got some blessed water from Israel. I'm going to give it to you. You're going to be blessed. You're going to be blessed going in and blessed going. I got some blessed handkerchiefs. And see, they had to come up with all those gimmicks. All you do is tell the truth. If you tell the truth, the people will listen and hear the truth. The truth will resonate. Are y'all hearing this? So we're not about games and gimmicks. I ain't got time for that. All right? I'd rather just do it myself if I got to sit there and try to bring you and pull you and drag you along. That's not, we're not in the business of convincing nobody of nothing. Are y'all hearing this? Faith comes by hearing. So if you can't hear, you don't have ears to hear and a heart to receive, then you ain't going to hear it anyway. You ain't going to do it anyway. All right? So what I want you to do right now is to clear your mind of everything you have ever heard about tithes and offerings now. Because what's going to happen is, anytime I'm talking, I'm always talking to your worldview and your perspective and what you've been taught and where you came from. So I know this is a one-room schoolhouse. And I'm talking to everybody, but I know I'm talking to your perspective, your point of view, and what you believe.
Right.
And what you believe don't necessarily have to be right.
Right.
Because you believe it.
That's the truth.
See, we thought Christmas was right. And could nobody tell us nothing about Christmas? Could nobody tell us about Thanksgiving?
Come on, man.
It happened to be the national day of mourning for the Indians, though. Couldn't nobody tell us about it until you went to go look it up. It's like, oh, why they mourning and we telling them thank you. You know? We thought, man, Easter, 3 days, 3 nights was Easter. From Friday to Sunday. And you believed it. And you were sincere in your belief. You was convicted in your belief. But something happened when somebody came and told you the truth and it just literally ran over your little belief. And at first you thought it was something wrong with the person that was telling you that. And then all of a sudden that word started getting on the inside and you went back and looked at it again. And all of a sudden you're like, man, they're right. I'll never forget. I was talking to a guy in T-Mobile. And it was an old high school friend. Ain't seen me in a long time. And he saw me. He said, hey, Pastor John, what's up, man? What's up, hey, man? You know, we did a little back slap, you know. And, man, you know, me and my wife, we just got our evangelist license. You know, we evangelists now, you know. Mr. and Mrs. Evangelist. And, hey, man, this is what we're about, man. We going out, man, preaching this word. And started tuning up right in front of me, man. I'm just excited, man, about God and what he's doing. I said, oh yeah, man. I said, well, I'm glad to know. I'm glad to know that. And I was trying to avoid, you know, this situation. I said, hey, man, I came up here from yeah, man. And then we got our license over here, man. And, you know, we just did a trip. We're giving out turkeys and we're giving out toys for the tots for Christmas, man. And we're doing this. And I was trying to avoid everything. I said, oh, okay, well, that's nice, bro. I said, listen, man, I'm here for my phone. Yeah, man. And the more he kept on digging in, the moment I turned around, I said, brother, let me tell you something about what you believe and what you think you know.
Come on.
And before I got through, he was looking at me like I was the crazy one. But I left out because I told him everything I'm saying can be verified, and I dare you to go back to look at it. And he said, oh, okay. And he put me, let somebody else take care of it.
Yeah.
So I left out of there, and I didn't see him no more in there. Maybe two months later, I had to go back up there again to do something. And when I went back there, he said he broke his neck trying to get to me. John, man, when we talked last time, I was saying things to you that I thought with all my heart was the truth. And when we got through talking, you told me the things you said, I said, this dude has lost his damn mind. He said, I gotta just tell you the truth. I thought you lost your mind. My wife was looking at me, and she was like, honey, what's wrong? I said, I just got through seeing one of my high school friends. He's been preaching for a long time. I remember him in high school wearing suits. He said, but he has lost his mind. She was like, what did he say? He was talking about Christmas, about Easter, about Sunday. He was talking about all this stuff. And I, man, he just crazy. Man. So, a couple of weeks went by. He never went to go verify anything. But a couple of weeks went by. Something that I said to him came on the TV. He was reminded of it again. And he was like, oh. He said, you know what? That sounds like something, John. Let me go look at this time. Then he went to go look at it. And when he said, man, when I went to go look at it, I looked at myself and said, John's not crazy. I'm the one that's crazy.
Wow.
Now what do you do with that? And I said, brother, I know. I forgive you for talking about me. I still love you. I come up here to take care of my phone, though. I want to get this thing right. He was like, John, how long you been knowing? Why don't nobody tell nobody? And he was still like messed up by it because he was like, everything you said was a flat out truth and it was verifiable. I said, yeah, brother. I said, that's what happens, man. I said, hey, come on Sabbath day, brother, I'll give you some more. But I came up here for my phone now. So I want you to clear your mind of everything else you have heard or known about tithes and come as a little child. See, that's what Yeshua said. He said you got to come as a little child, learning all over again. All right? So because what's going to happen is if you keep the old mindset while I'm going through this, all you're going to be trying to do is to figure out your argument against everything I'm saying. All right? Now, was I right about Christmas?
Yes.
Was I right about Sunday?
Yes.
Was I right about Easter?
Yes.
Was I right about saying that you was an Israelite?
Yes.
And we're the people of Yah?
Yes.
Well, the chances are, if I was right about all those things, I'm going to be right about this too. Now somebody on the other side saying, I'm not so fast. All right, you go check it out and you prove all things, but only hold fast to that which is good. Okay? So we're going to deal with tithes and offerings. Okay, y'all ready?
Yeah.
All your minds are clear.
Yes.
See, don't go into this, don't go into the word with your dukes like, don't go like this, with your fist up and ready to fight. Go through this with your hands down and you relax so that you can take it in.
Okay.
Because it's going to be refreshing. You're going to be like, wow, I didn't know. And it's going to be a fun learning experience. But if you come with trying to argue, then you ain't going to hear nothing I'm saying. Because your argument is going to be louder than the information I'm presenting.
Yeah.
Okay? So just come and just relax. Relax. Y'all got your coffee, your drink, you relax. And we hearing the word, right? This is a Sabbath class dealing with tithes and offerings.
Hallelujah.
It's truly dealing with giving. Everybody say giving.
Giving.
That's truly the name of this, is giving. Should we get that? When I put tithes and offerings up there, you already have a perspective about that. You already say, oh, they did that in Christianity. So everything that's in Christianity don't mean that it was wrong.
Wow.
Because you were hearing the Holy Scriptures. Just like Apostle Saul said to Timothy. He said, you've been hearing the Holy Scriptures ever since your youth up. You just ain't got the proper perspective on these scriptures.
Right.
So y'all been hearing the scriptures all your life in the church, but you just didn't get it from the proper perspective.
Right.
And there could have been some things preached from the proper perspective. But because you know the majority of the stuff is wrong, that you just throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
There were some things there that we learned that was good.
Yes.
Something about commitment, something about faithfulness, something about dedication. See, we was dedicated for that, wasn't we?
Yes.
So you see what I'm saying? Everything is not bad. All right, so nevertheless, tithes and offerings. Let's go into it. Who are the Israelites? Everybody say, who are the Israelites?
Who are the Israelites?
See, because if we're going to answer this question of tithes and offerings, we got to answer the question of who is Israel? Who is tithes and offerings given to from the very beginning?
Okay.
Y'all hear this?
Yes.
Now, we know that they took our books and took our material and took our writings and took our library and they got it all over the place. Translated in different languages so that we can understand and get a concrete understanding of what's going on and happening. So we need to answer the question of tithes and offerings dealing with who are the Israelites? Who's reading? Come on, Jay was reading. That's who's reading. Come on, Sister Jay. Yeah. That's relaxed. Come on, girl. Come on, sister. Oops. How can you see? Oh, give me the black one. Give me the black one. Give me the black. All right. I hope I'm coming. Am I loud enough for everybody? I need a mic. Okay. Yeah, get that to your sister. So, who are Israelites? Everybody say, who are Israelites?
Who are Israelites?
Okay, we're going to find out who Israelites are. You ready? Let's see who Israelites are. Oh, in the church. Oh, yes. Romans 9:4-5. What did it say?
Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of Yahweh, and the promises.
Turn her mic up a little bit. So I want to make sure they can hear that nice and loud and clear. Read it again.
Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of Yahweh, and the promises.
So Israelites were the ones that pertained to adoption. So anytime you get the word adoption, it's dealing with Israelites. Anytime you hear the word glory, that pertains to the Israelites. Anytime you hear covenants, whether old or new, it's dealing with Israelites. Dealing with giving of the law, that's dealing with Israelites. The service of Yah, doing anything with serving Yah, has to do with Israelites. The promises, and every promise that's in that book was given to who?
Israelites.
So that's very important that we know that everything in that book is pertaining to Israelites. Come on.
Who are the fathers?
Stop. Who are the fathers? I thought it was the church fathers. I thought it was, Alexandria. I thought it was Marcion. I thought it was St. Jerome. I thought it was Tulligen. I thought those were the church fathers. This just said Israelites. Who are Israelites? Pertaining to all those things. And then it says, who are the
Fathers.
So who are the fathers?
Israelites.
Israelites are the fathers. Come on.
And of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came.
Uh-oh. Not only all the stuff that I just mentioned, the services, the covenants, the law, the promises, but it says they are the fathers, and it says, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, the Mashiach, or Hamashiach, the anointed one, that's who he came for. Ooh-wee. I done broke some hearts now because they thought that he came for everybody. So this book just explained to you the Israelites is everything in that book, every promise, every word spoken, every book written. It was all written to the Israelites, and even Christ came for those same people. Who is what?
who is over all.
Who is over all?
God bless forever. Amen.
Are y'all hearing this?
Yes.
Now, a lot of people say, Pastor, I heard what you said, that he didn't come for everybody, but the Bible said, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whomsoever believeth in him is going to have everlasting life. So he came for the world, Pastor John. Well, let's see who this world is. Isaiah 45:17, what did it say?
But Israel shall be saved.
No, Christians,
Israel.
Baptists,
Israel.
Presbyterian,
Israel.
Jehovah's Witness,
Israel.
Mormons,
Israel.
Buddhists,
Israel.
Muslims.
Israel.
It don't make a difference who you try to replace. This book says who?
Israel.
Israel is going to be what?
Saved.
Ain't that so? Israel's going to be saved. Come on.
And Yah,
In Yah,
with an everlasting salvation.
Israel has an everlasting salvation.
Wow.
Woo-wee. Here's your world. Come on.
Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
World without end. So when he was saying, for God so loved the world, he wasn't talking about every single person on the earth or every single person on the planet. He was talking about the world of the righteous and the world of Israel. And he says, Israel shall be saved with an everlasting salvation. And it says, world without end. Woo-wee! Now, somebody looking at that saying, but. He got to, why did he make everybody if he didn't want them to be saved? Well, let's see what the Father says about everybody else. But before we go to that, let's find out what else he said about Israel first. Y'all want to always jump to the other nations and the other people without finding out what he said about you. So we're going to stick with us for a moment. Is that all right?
All right.
Exodus 4:22, what did he say?
And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith Yahweh, Israel is my son, even my firstborn.
My. So now he's letting you know who is his son, his firstborn. And it's who?
Israel.
Israel. Y'all hearing this?
Yes.
Watch this. Luke 1:70, what did it say?
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets.
He spoke by the mouth of his holy prophets. And who do those prophets so happen to be? Israelites. Come on.
Which have been since the world began.
Which have been since the world began. Remember when he told Jeremiah, before you were in the belly of your mother's womb, I knew you. He's saying the same thing in Luke. The mouth of the holy prophets, which have been since the world began. Come on.
That we should be saved from our enemies.
Who is the we?
Israel.
That Israel should be saved from our enemies. Come on.
And from the hand of all that hate us.
No, just the hand of a few folks that hate us. It says all that hate us. Come on.
To perform the mercy promised to our fathers.
To perform. Remember those promises we was talking about over there in Romans there? Who are Israelites? He says he keeps coming so that we can perform the mercy promise to our fathers. Come on.
And to remember his holy covenant.
Who was the covenant promises given to?
Israel.
Come on.
That he will grant unto us.
Who is the us?
Israel.
See, if you don't keep it in that context, then you can interject anybody in there. But he's talking to one group of people. He's talking to the us. Come on. To grant unto us.
That we being delivered out of the hand of our enemies.
That we being delivered out of the hand of our enemies. Come on.
Might serve him without fear.
Might serve him without fear. Because Israel is not only his firstborn, but we're also Yahweh's servants. Woo-wee. Y'all getting that so far?
Yes. Hallelujah.
But Pastor John, you didn't answer the question about the other people in the earth. And how many people know when you start talking about who the people in the Bible are, and you start talking about Israel and we Israel, everybody real quick want to talk about everybody else.
Yeah.
That's just like Israel. Remember, we want to be like all other nations. And we're concerned about everybody else but what the Father gave us. And we're so focused on everybody else that we don't even remember what the Father told us to do.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I'll answer that question. After this, read.
In holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our lives.
So that's how we're going to serve him. In holiness and in righteousness all the days of our life. Ain't that beautiful?
Yes.
So let's answer that question. What about the other people? What about the other people? Well, let's find out about the other people. Let's see what the Father says about everybody else. 2nd Ezra 6, 56 and 59. That's in the book of the Apocrypha that they took out of your Bible. The middle part of the Bible, they took out 14 books called the Apocrypha. And the Apocrypha is the middle part of the Bible. It's the time period between Malachi and Matthew that they said was the silent period. It wasn't silent at all until they took it out and removed it and didn't tell you nothing about it. So this book is in one of the verses in that book of the Apocrypha that you don't have. What did it say?
As for the other people,
As for the other people, come on,
which also come of Adam,
which also come from Adam, come on.
thou hast said that they are nothing.
Thou hast said. Did we say that?
No.
Did we say that?
No.
Esdras is Ezra in your Bible. And he's just saying what the Most High Yah is saying about the other name. He said, as for the other people which came from Adam, thou hast said that they are what?
Nothing.
But be like unto spittle.
But be like unto spittle.
Spit.
Now, he's quoting, right? Let's see who else agrees with what Ezra says. Because you say, oh, Pastor, I don't have the book of no Apocrypha. All I got is the 66 books, and that's enough for me, right? I don't need no extra material. I don't need no pseudo photographer. I don't need none of those other kind of books and apocryphes and all of that stuff. All I need is the 66 books. And it got to be a KJV.
Oh, there you go.
King James Version only. I don't speak Hebrew. I don't. Well, we can tell. We can tell you that. So slow your roll. Let's go and find out, does the Father say anything in those 66 books that you allegedly be reading? And you believe in that. Okay, so let's see. Isaiah, y'all know Isaiah the prophet, right?
Yes.
King James Version, right?
Yes.
Isaiah 40 verse 15. What did it say?
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
Uh-oh. So here's Isaiah saying the nations are as a drop of a bucket. Come on.
And are counted as small dust.
As counted as small dust.
Whoa.
What did Yeshua do when he healed the blind man? He spit what? It's a what? Clay, and the clay it became clay, right? And he put that clay on his eye. And the man came back seeing, right?
Right.
So he said the nations are counted as small dust of the balance. Come on.
Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing.
He take up the isle as a very little thing. What else did he say about the nations in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 17?
All nations before him are as nothing.
Oh, so now Isaiah is saying the same thing. Now, did Isaiah say this, or is he just quoting from what the Most High is inspiring him to write?
He's been inspired.
Come on, talk to me here.
Yes. He's been inspired.
So that's what they believe. The KJV was inspired.
Yeah.
It's the inspired, infallible Word of God.
Right.
All nations be before him are as
Nothing.
nothing. Come on.
And they are counted to him less than nothing.
And they're counted to him as what?
Less than nothing.
Less than nothing
And vanity.
and vanity.
Whoa, wow.
My. Right? Say, I thought we were talking about tithes and offerings. We don't get to that. But we need to know who we are. All right? We always got to give a tithe to lay that out. All right? So we're going to go back to 2nd Esdras now. Now that you see that it's in your own Bible,
Yes.
the 66 books. So now we're going to go back to the Apocrypha and show you what you don't know about. Come on, because you ain't got that book. Let's go what it say.
As for the other people,
Now again, as for the other people. See, that's what they've been calling you. Them other people. See, it's something else when the Father started calling all the other people, but he's calling you Israel. But all of our life, because of the curses and the things of the disobedience to the Father, we've been called the other people. So now, we're turning things right side up. He said, Israel is my firstborn, and for the other people. Do y'all see what's happened to us? It's been an inverted kingdom. What was up is now down. What was out is now in. Are y'all hearing this? So you've been called the other people. Them other people. As for the other people, come on.
which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
And has, be clear with your words too, and has likened the abundance of them unto what?
Unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Are y'all hearing this? What else he said?
And now, O Yahweh, behold these heathens.
Oh. You mean to tell me they call folks names now, calling them heathens? Now, when you look at the word heathen, it could be translated heathens, it can be translated Gentiles, and then it can be translated into unbelievers. So who are the heathens? The Gentiles or the unbelievers. Because they don't believe that they're called the other people. They believe they are the people. I don't get what I'm saying. Yeah. So he said, oh Lord, behold, these heathens. This is what Ezra said.
Wow.
Come on, what he say?
Which have ever been reputed as nothing.
It has ever been reputed as nothing. Come on.
Have begun to be lords over us and to devour us.
Ain't that what happened?
Yeah,
They lording over us, ain't they? And they devouring us, aren't they? These people who should have been nothing in the sense of being regulators and rulers of the earth have now become the rulers and governors of the earth. And they have set their system up in the earth that everybody got to abide by their rules and by what they set up. But from the beginning, they were considered nothing, and Israel was supposed to have the government set up that everybody was supposed to follow that. Y'all hearing this?
Yeah.
So this is not talking about other nations in the sense of saying that, well, it's talking about just what it's saying. It said they nothing. That's what the book said, okay? But nothing means something, okay? So we need to go look up what the word nothing means, all right? But the same ones that have been reputed as nothing, in other words, they haven't been given the authority, the commandments, the laws, the statutes, the covenant. The other nations were not given that. So therefore, because they weren't given the commandments, they're nothing. Because everything they're going to do things based on vanity.
Right.
Y'all hearing this?
Yes.
Those are the ones that have become Lord over us, and they have been the ones devouring you all this time. These heathens. Come on.
But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn.
But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten. Come on.
And thy fervent lover are given into their hands.
Ooh, y'all hearing it?
Yes.
We've been given over to their hands. Come on.
And the world now be made.
If the world.
If the world now be made for our sake.
So Ezra's making a question. He's like, hold on. We this, that, and the other, and these other heathens are ruling over us. Now he's about to ask a very good question. If, come on, if
the world now be made for our sake.
If the world now, not the hereafter, not going home to be with Jesus, got to die first. See, everybody want to go see Jesus, but don't nobody want to die. Everybody want to go see Yeshua, but don't nobody want to die. So if we really want to go see him, why don't we just jump off the building now and go see him?
Can't do that.
See? Everybody talking about heaven ain't going there, right? Everybody want to get there, you know you got to die. So, well, I don't want to go see him that fast. I want to live my life a little bit. But I thought that Jesus is the best thing that ever happened to. So if he's the best thing, go on, jump off the building, go in and see. Go meet him. You see, nobody wants to do that. So that's why Ezra is making this clear. He's saying, if the world win,
Now.
no, next week,
Now. Now.
or tomorrow,
Now.
or yesterday.
Now.
See, I told you there's no such thing as time. They didn't look at time like we're looking at it. We're always in the present. If the world now in the present be made for our sake, come on.
Why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?
Why ain't we got an inheritance? Why ain't we inheriting the world? How long is this going to go on that these heathens be in charge of us? Ain't that a good question?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yes.
Why isn't it that, how long are they going to, if this was all about us and give it to, why don't we possess our world? Go on with our thing. No, create, build, sustain, and grow a better world.
Yes.
See, we got this thing all jacked up. All right? Second Ezra, what did it say? In 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 7 to 9. Go on and ask the question.
Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth?
So now he's asking the question, what's going to be the sundering of time? Because these heathens, they're ruling over us, they're doing all this stuff. When is going to be the end of that and the beginning of something else? Beginning of us coming back to where we need to be. Because when Yeshua ascended in the book of Acts, the first thing they asked him was, is now the time you getting ready to restore the kingdom back to Israel? That was their question. So Ezra was asking the same thing. Okay? When is the end of their world and when is going to be the beginning of our world? And you have to understand that there are many worlds in that sense. Of the world of the Hebrews, they're the world of the other folks. And they got, and in their world, they got their own little worlds. Are y'all seeing that? The world of the righteous, the world of the wicked, and then it goes on and on and on and on. Okay? So, when is going to be the end and when is going to be the beginning? What did he say?
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Now, to us, we know that that story is way back then, right? That's what we think.
Yeah.
But he's bringing this into a now, present context. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob, he's talking like it's right now. When Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Come on.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the end of the world. Come on.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
And Jacob is the beginning of that which is the Father. Y'all all praise the Father.
Hallelujah.
We're at the end of that little scenario. We're at the end of Esau's time. And now it's time for Jacob to begin to rise. That's why you think we're waking up.
Yes.
That's why I wrote that song. When Judah wakes up, turns to the Most High. When Judah wakes up, y'all ain't no singing church. I don't know singing church. Come on, y'all got to be with me when we do that kind of stuff. What is Judah supposed to do?
Put his hands in the neck of the enemy.
Yeah. There we go. Y'all getting it?
Yes.
So, what that say?
The heart is deceitful above all things and
That's
wicked. Who can know it?
Ain't that something now? How many know that's true?
Hallelujah.
Let's go on. Now we're going to talk about tithes and offerings. All right, second Exodus chapter 25, verse 2. What it say?
Speak unto the children of Israel.
Who speak unto who?
Children of Israel.
Everybody.
Israel.
No, you're supposed to speak to everybody, every nation. And
Israel.
he said, speak to the children of who?
Israel.
What are you going to speak to them?
That they bring me an offering.
That they bring me an offering. Come on.
Of every man that giveth it willingly with his heart, ye shall take my offering.
Uh-oh. So this has got to do with what? The heart.
Yes.
Bring me an offering of every man that giveth it willingly.
Yes.
With his heart, ye shall take my offering. So we ain't supposed to take an offering because we done twisted your arm, made you feel guilty,
No.
taking your rent money, your light bill money. No, we ain't supposed to be taking that.
No.
No, we supposed to be taking what comes from a willing heart.
Yes.
That's good, Pastor. That's good.
Y'all hearing that?
Yes, sir.
Now, if somebody is willing to give you something, you gonna not take it?
No.
Now, what kind of person are you? I'm willfully giving you something, and you say, no, because we ain't got to do that no more. Keep it. I don't want that.
No, that's not right.
That didn't make sense, do it? I remember my wife was talking, even when people give you stuff that you may not want, you was always taught to what? Take it anyway.
They say thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Even though you didn't like it. Right, still take it.
You supposed to take it. Because they're giving it to you from a what kind of heart?
A willing
A willing heart. All right? Now, of course, people are going to be ignorant and say, well, what if they give you something that's bad for you? You know, we ain't talking about that. We're talking in the context of tithes and offerings and somebody being nice and giving you something, right? Giving you a gift. But if you're doing it from a willing heart, you're supposed to take it. So you should take my offering. Okay? Come on.
And this is the offering which ye shall take of them. Gold.
Stop. So, one of the things that we can take from Israel is what?
Go.
Y'all hearing this? What else?
And silver.
Come on.
And brass.
So he's letting you know you can receive an offering from Israel of gold, of silver, and brass. Come on.
And blue.
And blue.
And purple.
Come on.
And scarlet. And fine linen.
So we can take fine linen of those colors because we know that they were building the tabernacle at this time. Okay? Come on.
And goat's hair.
And goat's hair. So anybody got a goat, go get the hair from it and bring it on in the house. We gonna take it. All right? Well, that's material. That's what they make clothes out of. Come on now. Fine linen.
Oh, okay.
Fine linen. Our clothes are made from. Okay. Come on.
And ram skins dyed red.
Yeah, I got some shoes, gator shoes back there. You know, come on. He said ram skin dyed red.
Okay.
Y'all saw the little red shoes and folks used to have in church? Them red suits and red shoes. For Easter, you know, Easter Sunday. Strutting like a peacock. And that George Jefferson walk, right? The ram skins dyed red, come on.
And badger skin.
Come on.
And shittim wood.
Okay?
Oil for the light.
Oil for the lights.
Spices for anointing oil.
Come on.
And for sweet incense.
So this is all the offers that they was getting from Israel, okay? What else?
Onyx stones.
Onyx stones. Come on.
And stones be set in ephod.
Now y'all, if y'all go back and look at the priest and the stones he had in the breastplate, you got all kinds of stones in there. Rubies and come on, jasper. And you just go through and look and you'll see like, man. Look at all these stones we can collect from the children of Israel. All right? So we'll stop being creative, ain't we? We just here, take this. Take my dollar. Okay, come on.
And in the breastplate. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them.
Okay, so they got all of these things together to incorporate and make the sanctuary. Okay, make the building, make the tabernacle for Yah to dwell with them. Okay? So that was an offering. They could collect all those things.
Right.
And if one of those things were not something that we could collect, even today, because the ain't notable, done away with. All right? We can still collect. That's the point I make. Okay? All right, come on.
According to all that I shew thee, after the pattern of the tabernacle, and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall ye make it.
All right. The historical, typical type of tithing, it was for the priests of Israel. It was for the Levites and the temple servants. It was for the people who were in charge of ministering to Yah and ministering to the people of Yah. That's what. Now, are we done away with it?
No.
Y'all see what I'm saying? They'll tell you, there ain't no such thing as no priest no more. Yes, we understand that. But he did say, ye are a royal priesthood.
That's what it says.
So I guess the priesthood ain't been done away with, you know. Now that I'm supposed to be a royal priesthood,
Right.
I'm a holy nation, peculiar people who should show forth the praises of him that brought us out of darkness into his marvelous light. So, the tithe was for the priests, but if that's the case, if you're going to use that scripture and say that you're a royal priesthood, that means we all need to be getting some tithes then. Okay, well, are you going to do the job of the priest, the Levite? Are you going to come and sing and come and minister to the people and be here dedicated every Shabbat on time,
No.
studying this word, going out, tripping it, and going on planes and going all over the world, getting this word out? Are you truly going to do that?
No.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's people designated to do that. They have a calling and a gift on them for that service.
Yes.
I told you I've been dropped off at the church as a little boy. This is all I know. Y'all hearing this?
Yes.
So, we got that. Numbers 18 and 26, what it says?
Thus speak unto the Levites, and say to them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithes, which I have given you from them for your inheritance.
So again, speak to the Levites, take of the children of Israel the what? The tithes, which I have given you from them for your inheritance. Because Israelites, the Levites didn't have an inheritance. Their inheritance was the presence of Yah.
Right.
See? And then you wonder, man, every time we sing, we work, man, I feel the presence of Yah. Man, when he's talking to me, man, I feel the presence of Yah convicting me. Because that's mine. That's part of my portion too. That I carry the presence of Yah. I never forget, we went to a church, they were up there telling jokes. It was like a comedy night. They were telling jokes. It was supposed to be a musical. They were telling jokes and man, having a good time, laughing and singing. As soon as they say, okay, Pastor Tim, won't you come and do worship? All of a sudden, all that changed. By the time I got through, people was kneeling at the altar crying. I didn't even know what I did. All I did was get up there and sing and start ministering to the people. But before I was done, everybody on their face praising the Father, crying out to the Most High. I said, I guess this ain't a comedy show after all, you know. And it was like, man, the whole atmosphere changed. Because that's the inheritance of Yahweh's priests, Levites. Y'all hearing this? Come on.
Then ye shall offer up a heave offering of it for Yahweh, even a tenth part of the tithe.
We're going to get to the heave offering, and we're going to get to the tenth and all that. Okay, but I want y'all to see that this was something that they were supposed to get from the children of Israel. Okay? That they were supposed to give it to the priests. The tithe was given to the priests. It was given for the feast. All right? This is just an overview. You know, what we're going through. The Levites, the construction of the temple, and also give it to the poor, to the stranger, to the widow, to the fatherless. All right? And that list can go on and on. But these are the top five. And then I would put the fatherless, the widow. They was collecting money for those type of people. All right? They were gathering tithes for that. Y'all getting this?
Yes. Wait a minute.
The priest, the feast, the Levites, the construction of the temple, and to the poor. All right? Y'all follow it?
Yes.
And get rid of them so they can see you there. See the screen. Hang. Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to keep standing in the way though. Go just right there. Yeah, that's bad. I feel like I'm standing in front of the thing every time. They probably like, man. All right. The Levites were given a tithe because of their what? Calling, their vocation, the work and the temple service. That's what they did.
Right.
They was just involved in the ministry of building up the people of Yahweh. Worshiping Yahweh, that's just what they did. Matter of fact, when they were in Egypt, the Levites said, we ain't building nothing for Pharaoh. We gonna all be together. We ain't doing the children of Levi did not do any work for Pharaoh. Are y'all here? They never did any work for, not the Levites. All the other tribes did, but the Levites didn't. They said, we ain't doing none of that. You can go look at the book of Jasher. It talks about it extensively. Said the only people that didn't do work for Pharaoh. Are y'all hearing this?
Yes.
Speed up 2017. The only people that don't do no work for Pharaoh are the Levites, are the ones that was the priest. They didn't do it. I can't help that. My mindset was never geared like that.
Okay.
Are y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I did. I was a teacher, so I taught for 20 years, teaching, in the school system.
Right.
But that wasn't what my heart, and it was so funny because all my life I had to get checks from the church, because I played the keyboard, the organ, and all that. Then all of a sudden I said, finally I got a regular job, and my checks would not say church no more. But I work for a Catholic church, and my check says the church of so-and-so, so-and-so. I said, dang, I thought I got a regular job. I was teaching in the school, but I was still getting the check from the church. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
All my life. Until I went and did that little thing I told y'all about. And little nursing home job. That was all the time. All right? So y'all getting this?
Yes.
Set apart. The priests and the Levites were set apart because of their calling they had upon them. They had to be set apart. And I don't think it was set apart in a way that was like standoffish. Because when you think about set apart, you think about somebody being standoffish.
Right.
It was just something in there. It was something that was just a normal thing. Man, no, I can't engage in that. It's not because I can't do it or don't want. It's something down in the core of who I am.
Yeah.
That says that's not your sign. That's not what you're gonna be frustrated. That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
No.
That particular thing. Okay? They and their families lived by the offerings given, just like the Apostle Saul and all the other apostles. They lived by the giving or whatever was given to them. That was their portion. And if they didn't get it, then they wouldn't have it. Okay? Because our portion is really Yah.
Yeah.
We carry the presence of Yah. Now, when we sing and worship and we hear this lesson, who don't feel the presence of Yahweh? If you don't feel the presence of Yahweh, you got my permission to leave now. Because there's no point.
Right.
But if you feel the presence of Yahweh and you're here and you like, man, this is it, then you know, Bible says the truth is going to set you free, right? Where the Spirit of Yahweh is, there is what? Liberty. That's freedom.
Yeah.
How do you feel freedom in here?
Yes.
Hallelujah. Leviticus 27:30, what it say?
And all the tithes of the land, whether of the seed of the land, or of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's, it is holy, set apart unto Yahweh.
So this is letting you know all the tithes of the land, of the seed of the land, of the fruit of the tree is Yahweh's. So all of what we get, it belongs to who?
Yahweh.
Anything you get and anything you have, it all belongs to who?
Yahweh.
The earth is Yahweh's and the fullness thereof. It all belongs to him anyway.
Yes. Children.
But this is speaking about the tithe. The tithe of the land, the tithe of the seed, the tithe of the fruit tree, that portion belongs to Yahweh. It is set apart unto him. Because remember, the Levites carry the presence of Yahweh. So when he said that belongs to him, he said, yeah, they belong to the ones in whom carry the presence of Yahweh.
Yes.
Come on.
And concerning the tithe of the herd, or of the flock, even of whatsoever passeth under the rod, the tenth shall be holy unto Yahweh.
The tenth shall be set apart unto Yahweh. The tithe, the herd, the flocks, or whatsoever passeth under the rod. The tenth of that shall be holy unto Yah. Okay, y'all walking with me a little bit? All right. So, the tithe then would be livestock, seed, grain, fruit, silver, gold, and all those other things that we listed, etc. Okay? Because that's important that we begin to know this.
Yes.
Y'all with me so far?
Yes.
Any disagreements? Them thoughts rising up in your mind? Say, but. All right? And there may be some as we go along, but we just keep on going. All right? Tithes or offerings now are an expression of your what? Heart and respect for the labor of the pastors and elders for their labor of love in your salvation.
That's good. That's true, Pastor.
You know, if I got people up here and we're laboring and we're giving you information and we're bringing people here to encourage you and lift you up, man, we ain't doing that just to be doing that. It's a part of us, and we're giving you a part of the.
Still gotta live.
Yeah, we gotta live, but it's showing you all of the giving anyway is supposed to be an expression of your heart and a respect for the labor. Because if I wasn't here giving you the word and giving you the truth, how can they hear without a preacher? And how can he preach except he's been sent?
Yeah.
So I'm your gift. I've been sent right to you. I just don't got a bow on it. I ain't wrapped up in a package like that. But I'm a gift to the body. You don't believe I'm a gift? Don't worry about it then. Don't be here. All right? But that's what it's all about. Okay? Expression of the heart. They should not be hindered. They should not be hindered.
That is the truth.
Okay? Jeremiah 3:15. What it say?
And I will give you pastors.
See pastors with an S?
Yes.
That means it's not just one pastor that's going to be the pastor of the world. There's many pastors that the Father is raising up even in this time. And their eyes are opening up to truth. He said, I will give you pastors according to my heart. Come on.
Which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
Which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. I was preaching something completely different before. And the Father had to wake me up and shake me up and give me some knowledge and understanding for myself so that I can be able to give you the knowledge and understanding. My wife, Sister Tahila, used to tell me all the time, how is it that you learned this so quick? It's like you just learned it just, bam, now you know it, you know, or have something, a form of really getting it and understanding. And I said, he made me of quick understanding. That's all I can say, a quick understanding. And I give the Father, y'all, all praise and glory for it. 1 Timothy 5:17, what it says?
Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor.
Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of what? Double honor. Come on.
Especially they who labor in the word and doctrine.
Especially the ones that's laboring in the word and in doctrine. So I'm up here laboring. Y'all just don't know the kind of phone calls I get and the kind of questions I get and the kind of arguments of people who just don't want to conform to nothing, but yet still they ask you a question just to see what you say and still say at the end of it, we ain't gonna do it. And I already know as I'm talking to them, these folks ain't receiving nothing I'm saying, but they came to me and asked me. So I got to now, which is very strenuous, I got to be strained in my mind to try to get these people. See, well, I understand where you're coming from, but this is what it's said. And they all over the place, all of, and it's just strenuous on the mind. But I have to labor in the word and in doctrine so that they can understand or come to some kind of understanding. And sometimes we never come to understanding. And I just say, man, I done fought a good fight of faith. I'm tired. I can't. There's no more I can tell you because you don't believe it. So there, we're going to shake the dust from my feet and move on. But I labored. I put up a good fight. Right? I remember talking to somebody when I first came for 4 hours. Took them out to breakfast. And this guy was a doctor. And he said, man, I was born Baptist. I was raised Baptist. I was Baptist bred, and I'm going to be a Baptist until I'm dead. But I understand what you're talking about. But man, I'm going to be Baptist, bro. I got to tune up, man. Boy, I like it, man, when we do like this. I like that. I like when the Lord can get on there, man. I said, man, they ain't got nothing to do with all that, though, man. We're dealing with this, and what difference does it make? And then this is how ignorant he was. To do John 3:16. For God so loved the world. Show me the law in that scripture. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten. Show me the scripture. Show me the law. Show me the covenant in for God so loved the world. I said, bro, that's not the only scripture about. No, brother. Tell me everything you got to say in this scripture right here. Show me where it says I gotta do something. Other than for God so loved the world. And it was just so strenuous after 4 hours trying to talk.
Wow.
I said, oh well. I said, I'll never do that again. 1 Timothy 5:18, what it say?
For the scripture says, Thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out of the corn,
And tread it out.
the corn, and the laborer is worthy of his reward.
Y'all hearing this?
Yes.
Y'all believe in that?
Yes.
Now notice, Apostle Saul said, for the scripture said.
Right.
So that means he's quoting a scripture.
Yes.
And he's letting you know, thou shalt not muzzle the ox that tread out the corn, and the laborer is worthy of the reward.
Yes.
Now he just paraphrasing what the scripture says.
Yeah.
Okay? Today you are fed with knowledge and understanding. How many people, by the show of hands, believe that you're being fed with knowledge and understanding? Let me see your hand. Okay. The Apostle Saul, he traveled a lot, and his needs were financed by the saints because he traveled a lot.
Yeah.
And his needs was financed by the saints. All right? Paul did not carry around cows and goats and chickens and fruit and doves while he traveled.
No, he didn't.
So people that have that argument, all I got to do is give you a bag of apples, brother. Here you go. Shalom. I wish you well, man, and preach it to the world. Here's my offering of oranges and bananas. Let the Lord bless you. Let him bless you. Paul didn't do that, all right? He carried silver, gold, and today we carry Federal Reserve notes supplied by you, the saints, for the work of Yahweh. Y'all following this?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is this over the top?
No.
Do you feel like you're being coerced and doing something? All right, let's teach you. All right. Levites and priests, Deuteronomy 18:1. What did it say?
The priests, the Levites, and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offering of the Lord made by fire and his inheritance.
So somebody see that and say, see, all you're supposed to do is eat the offering of the Lord made by fire and his inheritance. So they just want the preacher just to gain weight. Just give them something to eat and that's it. All I'm supposed to do is give you something to eat, Pastor, that's it. Fix them a plate and that's it. I've done my job. But of course, in context, that's what their food was. There was that, cows and all that kind of stuff. They had land. They had inherited it. Not the Levites per se. They did have a suburb and a city and a house that was theirs. But they didn't, it says, the priests and the Levites and all the tribes of Levi shall have no part, no inheritance with Israel. They shall eat of the offering of Yahweh made by fire and his inheritance. So they'll say, hey, all you're supposed to do is have something by the fire, what do you call it, a shish kebab. Just eat something by the fire, roast it in the fire, that's it. We've done our job, Pastor. Come on, what it say?
Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. Yahweh is their inheritance.
I'm good with that. Yahweh is our inheritance. Come on.
As he has said unto them.
As he has said unto them. So I ain't supposed to have no inheritance with Israel, but at the same time, I'm supposed to have, y'all was supposed to be my inheritance. All right? Leviticus 27:30, what it say?
In all the tithes of the land, whether of the seed of the land, or of the fruit of the tree, is Yahweh. It is holy unto Yahweh.
Holy, set apart unto Yahweh. If you are an Israelite, the tithe does not belong to you. Now, how many people heard that before? Right? You heard that in church somewhere, right? They say the tithe don't belong to you. The tenth belongs to the Lord. And you got to bring it on in the house, right? Shall a man rob God? But yet you rob him in tithes and offerings, sister, and brother over there, and that mother over there, and that other brother over there. You keep robbing God. You can't rob God. You got to bring that money in the house. Because I want to buy me a $16,000 dog. And all that kind of craziness. Right? No, we're not saying that. If you are an Israelite, the tithe does not belong to you. All right? The tenth. It is set apart for Yahweh. We have read that in numerous scriptures already. Someone has to minister the gospel of truth. Now, if it's going to be you, you come on up and you do it, and I'm going to sit down. And we're going to see how long you're going to minister the truth. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, you want to minister the truth? Okay, come on up. I will sit down and we're going to see how many weeks you can continue on being prepared for a message after message after message. Not only just on the Shabbat, but every day when everybody calls you and everybody texting you and everybody, well, what about Dilla? And you're going to be supposed to be studying. I'm going to just sit and watch and see how long can they keep that going.
That's all fair.
See? I know in Christian church, you can call your pastor anytime, and he's going to have a word from Yahweh from you every time. Now, he'll have some words, but they ain't going to be the word from Yahweh, not every time. Y'all have a conversation, and eventually y'all start talking about the weather, talking about how everything going, and the conversation sounds like it's spiritual, but it ain't really, it's not.
It's not.
Y'all know what I'm talking about? It sounds like it's some type of gospel, but it just ain't the gospel of truth. He talking about mixed scriptures in and here and there, but the focus of the conversation ain't about what the word of Yah say. Okay, so somebody got to minister this gospel of truth. If it's you, then come on up. I'll go sit down. Okay? Listen to what Paul says. 1 Corinthians 9:2. What it say? Read it slow.
If I be not an apostle unto others, yet doubtless I am to you. For this.
So he said, if I be not an apostle unto others. Come on.
Yet doubtless I am to you.
Yet doubtless I am to you. So if I don't be a pastor to others, yet doubtless I'm a pastor to you. Right? Come on.
For the seal of mine apostleship are ye in Yahshua.
So what proves that Apostle Paul was an apostle was the people that was following him. Was the people that was there listening to him.
Right.
So same thing with me. If I'm not a pastor, then why are you listening to me then?
That's the truth, Pastor.
Why are you here? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the seal of someone is the fact that you're listening.
Yes.
And a lot of people that are listening don't mean that they're involved or they're really supporting all the time either. So I have to be cognizant of that too. That's when somebody's listening to you, but then when you come in this way and start learning all the stuff you learn and it totally goes against everything your family was raised, then chances are you ain't here just to be listening. You're here because you're like, man, this is off the chain. You know? You might be able to hear for a couple of weeks, but you ain't gonna last though. You ain't gonna say, I want to come and be and just support what you're doing. You ain't gonna say that, okay? If there's not some truth in it, something that you see is beneficial to you. Now watch this. This is his answer.
Mine answer to them that do examine me is this.
So he's about to tell them, because people was called and said he was an apostle. All right, so he said, my answer to them that's examining me is this.
Have we not power to eat and to drink?
Don't we get power to eat and drink?
Yes.
Okay, come on.
Have we not power to lead about a sister, a wife, as well as other apostles, and and as a brother of Yeshua and speak.
So he said, are we able to lead people, wife, other apostles, other brethren? Are we able to do that? Okay, watch this. This is answer.
For I only and Barnabas have not we power to forbear working.
So still ask these questions. He's building up. Aren't we, power to forbear working? In other words, shouldn't we be working, but don't we have the power not to work? Watch this.
What do you see when you look at your pastor?
So that's a question. When you look at your pastor, whoever your leader is, whoever your leader was, when you look at them, what do you see? Do you see a hard-working, dedicated person, or do you see a lazy and uncommitted person? Person that just lazy and just uncommitted.
Hard-working. I have a hard-working.
That's rhetorical.
No, I have a hard-working, that very dedicated.
Well, thank you, Mother. I appreciate that. I'm glad I got one person got more confidence in me. But I got one person in my corner. Hallelujah.
I'm in your corner too, Pastor.
All right, you second the motion. All right, now, I got another motion. Come on. Let's see. Get it. So this is all important because people don't understand how laborious this type of job is.
That's true.
It's just it is never ended. It don't
That's true.
ever quit. It don't ever stop.
Pastor, you tell the truth.
It don't never stop.
You tell the truth, Pastor.
Now I was a Christian pastor with people listening to me, coming every week. We shout, dance, and running. All of a sudden, I start preaching the truth. Everybody leave, but one family.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, I get over to this one. So I preach and teaching. Then a few people leave from this.
Right.
But I've never stopped. I've never stopped preaching every single week. Only when I was out of town.
Right.
If I'm going somewhere out of town, that's the only time I don't preach. But then I preach out of town too. I'm still talking to somebody there too.
Yeah.
So I don't never get a break or a rest.
Or the grocery store.
Oh, there she go in the grocery store, in Walmart. I'm always telling somebody, she hates you. Sometimes she be like, now here we go. I would just want a time with us to go to Walmart. Now, here we go. Soon as we walk, somebody say something, I'm like, and she, oh, here we go. She get back, she has to get her phone and tape me while I'm not looking. Or walk away and keep going doing whatever we came in there for. Doesn't see the doctor's office, actually going on and tell them. So this is a constant thing I'm involved in. Okay? 1 Corinthians 9:7.
Who goeth in warfare any time at his own charges?
Think about that. Who goes to warfare anytime at his own charge? I'm going to fight somebody and I'm going at my own expense. What country does that?
No.
Okay, read the next one.
Who planted a vineyard and eateth not of the fruit thereof?
Who starts something, get something going, get something planted, and then say, no, I'm not going to eat nothing from the vineyard? Who does it? Well, in other words, what's the point of planting the vineyard if you don't plan on eating from it?
Right.
Come on.
Or who feedeth a flock and eateth not of the milk of the flock?
You see? Who gonna feed the flock? You gotta get the thing to be fat and get it, and he ain't gonna even take the milk from the thing. What's the point of that?
Right.
That's why I understand pets called dogs. They can't do nothing for it. I guess lick your face or whatever you like that, companionship or whatever, something like that. But I don't get it.
They say if you got a dog, you live a long life.
Yeah, I know that's what they say. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I got goldfish. So I'm sure. I got goldfish. So somebody will say the same thing to me. Why you got gold? They can't do nothing. I can just look at them. That's it. The scriptures, the same verse with the scriptures interpretation of it. All right, come on, read.
Who serves as a soldier at his own expense? Who
Who
plants
does that? Who serves as a soldier at his own expense?
No one.
Come on,
a vineyard and does not eat of its fruit?
come on.
Or who shepherds a flock and does not feed on the milk of the flock?
Who does those things?
No one. Right.
Don't nobody go to war just because you got to pay the expenses for me to go over there. You got to try. In the United States of America, they send out the soldiers all over the place. They taken care of.
Yeah.
Right?
And their families.
And they're fat, but when they come back sometime, it could be a different story. All right, but nevertheless, They don't go to war like that. They go to war with everything they need in order to be successful for the battle or the assignment that they're on. Okay?
Yeah.
Attitudes. So the attitude is what kind of spirit is working and you would not want to support me laboring for your soul in this time. Who else has fed you the word of Yah like I have? If there is someone else, then go and listen and support them.
Yeah.
Now, is that a truthful statement?
That's true.
That's a hurtful statement.
But it's the truth, though.
It's the truth.
You know, who do you know that's laboring, who's giving you the truth? I don't have nothing from y'all. Y'all know everything. When we got this place, I said, this is how much it's gonna cost. I still gotta get insurance. I called the insurance lady yesterday, and we should have insurance. She said she'll let me know the quote Tuesday. But I've been trying to call 3 or 4 different insurance companies. Nobody's got back. I can call my brother too. Yeah, don't know. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. I don't want to say his name on camera. Yeah. So I did all of that, and people called me back. So I finally got somebody. They called me back, and they're gonna get back with me Tuesday. So hopefully we can get that. That'll be the last thing we need. All right. So y'all get this?
Yes.
All right. Special. Now we're gonna talk about special offerings or gifts. Before we get that, but I want y'all to be clear though. If I'm feeding you the word of Yah, if I'm giving of my time, and I sacrifice my whole family, everybody in my family is involved at some level, or some point, doing something for the ministry and giving something. Everybody is. And I just believe that, you know, it's all hands on deck. So if somebody else is going to feed you better or give you the word better, then please go. Just support whoever it is. That's all I'm saying. Okay? So now let's talk a little bit about, we're going to conclude on these last few scriptures. Special offering of gifts pledged to Yahweh shall be made according to the person and estimation. Now, if you're taking notes, you're going to want to write this down, because this is good. Y'all going to like this. Y'all see the extra effort I go to making sure y'all get it? Y'all will see the effort right now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the spot price for silver. The spot price for silver right now is $17.39. Okay? And y'all get your calculator out if y'all want to and calculate this stuff. All right, the spot price for silver is $17.39. 50 shekels would be $869.
What's the shekel?
Shekel is what is actually the money that they use in Israel.
Yeah.
Okay? But in the Bible, you have the same word shekel. Okay?
Okay, how much is it?
Shekel for 50 shekels would be $869.50 based on the current value of what silver is today. And silver fluctuates. It goes up and it goes down.
Yeah.
Okay? So today, the price is $17.39. So I'm doing it right up to now. Okay? So 50 shekels would be $869.50. 40 shekels would be $695.60. 30 shekels would be $521.70. 20 shekels is $347.80. Federal Reserve notes, okay? 15 shekels is $260.85. 10 shekels is $173.90. 5 shekels is $86.95. And 3 shekels is $52.17. And remember the woman that had the little widow's mite?
Yes.
All right? So we're going all the way down, all right? From 50 shekels all the way to 3 shekels. And that's going to be important for you to know, so when I go through this part of the verses, that y'all have that in mind. So you can see where you are at. Okay? Y'all ready? It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Because I know ain't nobody ever taught this or preached this. Ain't nobody talking about this. All right? Here we go. Well, somebody probably talked about it. I just ain't ran into it. Let me not say nobody ain't talking. That's a lie. Somebody's probably talked about it. I just ain't met that person yet. Okay? How's that? That better?
Yes.
I want to be like Elijah. I got 7,000 other folks that's been talking about this. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, somebody else is talking about this in the world. I just haven't met that person yet. All right? Exodus chapter 27, verse 1 and 8. What did it say?
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of
So
Israel,
this is Moses speaking to who? The children of Israel. Come on.
and saying to them, When a man shall make a singular vow,
When a man shall make a singular vow, come on.
the person shall be for Yahweh by thy estimation.
So he's letting you know when a man makes a vow, all right, to the Father, and he expects us to make vows. See, people say, well, I ain't gonna make a vow. I do that. That's why I keep my vow to myself. I won't say a thing. But we make vows every time we speak. You're saying something incriminating a vow. You're making a vow. You know, if you say, I'll see you tomorrow, what did you just do? You just made a vow. I'll see you tomorrow. And you know, good way you ain't gonna see them tomorrow. Well, that's a figure of speech. There's a figure of speech. But that's the English language. You can say what you want to say and not even mean anything at all. But in the Hebriac understanding language, all those things make for something that you need to know and follow through with. So it says, a man make a singular vow, the person shall be for Yah by thy estimation. Now watch this. All right, let's find out the estimations. Come on.
And thy estimation shall be of the male from 20 years old, even unto 60 years old.
Stop right there. So we're about to find out a male that is 20 years old up to 60 years old. This is what the estimation is for them in regards to their giving. What is it?
Even thy estimation shall be 50 shekels of silver, after the shekel of the sanctuary.
So that means that 50 shekels were how much? $869 in today's money. So that means if you're 20 years old up to 60 years old, that's how much you should be given after the shekel of the sanctuary. That's the basics of what you should be doing for the Levites or for the priests or for people who deal with the temple services. That's a starting off point. So you already know I at least got to give that much as a male, because this breaks it down male and female.
Yes, it does.
Ooh, now we're about to go learn. See, now you don't want to learn about tithes no more. Oh, okay, man, let's talk about deliverance. Well, we may need some deliverance after this, but you're going to get the truth, all right? So that's for a male. 20 years old unto 60 years old. They make a vow. Now people say, well, it says you make a vow. Well, you expect to make a vow. To Yah, for people who feed you, you expect it to you part of Israel.
Yes.
Okay, you're part of his people. Okay? Come on.
And if it be a female,
So now we're about to do female. How old? From 20 all the way to 60. Come on.
then thy estimation shall be 30 shekels.
30 shekels. What was 30 shekels? Anybody write it down?
It's $521.70.
So that's how much you're supposed to give as a minimum, as a starting off point. Ain't this beautiful?
Yeah.
Because it's already there. It's already written.
There, yeah.
Boy, come on.
And if it be from 5 years old, even unto 20 years
So
old.
now we're going out to 5-year-olds, children, to 20 years old. Then the estimation shall be for the males. How many?
20 shekels.
20 shekels. How much is 20 shekels?
$347.80.
Woo. So everybody that's from 5, in between 5 and 20,
What is it, 300 and what?
$347.80.
$347. Ain't it something that, see how easy this can be now? Everybody gonna know before you leave today what you're supposed to be, your basic minimum contribution.
Right.
But that's if you make a vow. I'm not gonna make a vow. But you make all kind of vows to everything else.
Yeah.
You vowed to when you get cable to pay it, didn't you?
Right.
You vowed when you moved into that apartment to pay that, didn't you?
Yeah.
You vowed to when you turn that heat on to pay them, right?
Yes.
But you don't want to make a vow to the Most High. I don't know if you're an Israelite or not. You hear what I'm saying?
Israel passed.
But I'm just making it a rhetorical. It's not personal. I'm not directing
No, it's
nothing.
not personal.
I'm just telling you. You know.
Israel.
But y'all get what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
So it says from 5 to 20, male, 20 shekels. And for a female in the same age bracket, from 5 to 20, how much? 10 shekels.
$173.90.
173 and 90 cents. 10 shekels. Y'all see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I guess nobody want to have no children now, huh? Get that, boy. Shoot. Oh, you mean to tell me this is what they had to do? Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Now, Pastor, when this was going on then, that's when they was living in the land of Canaan, right?
Yeah, that's when it came out of Egypt. It came out of Egypt. Remember, they borrowed all that stuff from the Egyptians?
Right.
They wasn't saying, you borrow that and you ain't got to never do nothing. No, they had to, that was the, this is considered, these were shekels. This was shekels. This was their financial system. And this is what they was expected to do.
Okay.
Because there's other nations involved. They were having, they was doing it, they was living their life. Okay?
So they did this once a year or how often they do it every Sabbath?
We don't get to it.
Okay.
See, now y'all sweating now. Like, oh, is this once a month? Is this? Now,
You know I've been going through this forever.
right, this is not every month, every week.
Right.
This is just the minimum of what you're supposed to give every year.
Okay.
Okay?
That's what we wanted to know.
Because every year you change an age.
Right.
So it's giving you the age range
Right.
from when you were in there. So it has to be every year.
Right.
Okay? Y'all all right?
Yeah.
All right? Come on. What it say?
And if it be from a month old, even to 5 years old,
Well, a month. Them preachers always take it out. They getting them for a month old. So
You ain't getting nothing from me. Bring the chair right
you
now. Bring it now, baby. Hallelujah.
We taking the pamper money now.
They gave up here,
So breastfeeding is gonna be in the house.
Israel trying to come out now.
Even if it be 1 month old. Now you know a 1 month old can't make no vow.
Yeah.
But they expected you as the parent to
Right.
say, hold on, man. This is what we got to do.
Because the pastor was worried of his life.
Right.
Even for that.
The Levites had to still keep ministering to the people, ministering to y'all.
Medicine.
Every year they had to do the sacrifice. We saw it on the Day of Atonement.
Yeah.
What they had to go through and do for the sins of the whole nation. And if they wasn't right, they were going to drop dead themselves. So look at everybody got to pay a price. All right? It says from 1 month, come on, read.
even unto 5 years old,
5 years old. Come on.
then thy estimation shall be
For a male,
of the male 5 shekels of silver,
5 shekels for a male. Come on.
and for the female thy estimation shall be 3 shekels.
3 shekels for a daughter. They always got the men going first, don't they? Even at 5, boy, men got to be in charge. Now, can you imagine what happened to the economy of Israel in the time of Moses when he was born?
Right.
There was no, they killed all, they was trying to kill all the 2-year-olds and below. Remember the time of the Messiah? They was trying to kill the 2-year-olds and below. And it was successful, they did that. And Yeshua was hid in Egypt. So what happened to the economy of Israel in the time of the Romans? And because they lost all this revenue.
That's what happened to us now. We failed now.
Are y'all seeing what's going on?
Failed now too. 'Cause we
All right.
didn't give it up.
Come on.
And if it be from 60 years old and above, if it be a male, then thy estimation shall be 15 shekels,
15 shekels, come on.
and for the female 10.
10 shekels. Y'all seeing what's going on, right?
Well, the elderly women.
Right. Now we got for the poor. Everybody gonna contribute. This is about your heart.
Yes.
About where your heart is at.
Right.
But if he be poorer, I mean poor than all that, read what it says.
Then thy estimation, then he shall present himself before the priest, and the priest shall value him according to his ability. That thou shall priest value him.
So this is getting their economy going. This is getting
Right.
some flowing currency going on, money going on. Y'all see this? So a priest got to put a value on somebody who just ain't, just poor or poor. All right? Come on.
And all the tithes of the land, whether of the seed of the land or of the fruit of the tree, is Yah. It is holy, set apart unto Yah.
Y'all get this? Come on.
And if a man will at all redeem all of his tithes, he shall add thereunto the fifth part thereof.
This is the other part of the tithe and the offerings that nobody hits. A lot of people don't talk about. But we learned that part about the estimation.
Right.
You got your shekel, you got where you fit in that. Did we hit you, Mom? Let me see.
That's what I said, was the elder.
Okay, let me get you real quick. I think that may have went too fast. Right here, verse 7. What did it say?
And if it be from 60 years old and above, if it be male, then thy estimation shall be
This is
50.
60 years old and above. If you are a male, your estimation is what? 15 shekels.
$260.85.
And if you are a female,
10 shekels.
10 shekels.
$173.90.
That's about right.
That's about right. See, everybody come.
Yeah.
These are the ones that are above 60. Everybody,
That taking me above 60.
you see? You see? But it's right where you are. You can clearly see like,
Right.
yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see where that would be something possible.
I've done it. You'll do it.
Ain't that beautiful? That's everybody's basic vow that you come in with as being an Israelite. Now people gonna see this teaching, you know they're gonna be preaching this now, boy. I'm gonna give everybody what they supposed to pay. If you're this age,
Then
you see how easy this is?
Yeah. It's not bad.
It's not a bad deal at all when you do it like y'all was saying. But they'll say, I ain't making no vow. Now you was in darkness, didn't know, on your way to a devil's hell with no Yah on your side. He done brought you into his marvelous life. He done filled you with the Holy Spirit. He's giving you the truth of the word. For you just to go cuss somebody out, or you to go off on somebody, you to tell him, he give you, hey, you're supposed to be contributing to Israel.
Right.
You're supposed to be doing the work of the ministry. You're supposed to be actually, this is Yahweh's plan.
Yes.
And I say his way is always good.
Yes. Always right.
And is always right. So that's about right for you, Mama?
Good teacher.
10 shekels.
It's right.
How much is 10 shekels?
10 shekels, $173.90.
All right, Mama, remind you now. We got one more month right now.
Take mine out on the Sabbath.
Woo, let's see, it's obedient. It's obedient.
Obedience.
You see that? She heard the word. Faith comes by hearing. See, that's what you got to do. You heard the word, now
You do.
you go confirm it to see it. But this makes it so easy and so clear. Now, why can't everybody just say, well, this is what it's supposed to really be? This is the basic minimum that everybody can contribute to. And it's going to make you feel good, like, man, I did what the book say.
Right.
Now, if you get beyond and over that, then that's fine. As Father blesses you and increases you. But you have to have that in the soil every year so you can see the increase in the harvest coming. And this is all just to take care of the basic stuff going on with the building the temple, the work of the. If everybody did that at the beginning of the new year, which is not January, but in April, if everybody did this, we'd be good. Okay, now we got a starting budget.
Right.
Right, Brother Tyrone? Right, you have a starting budget.
Yeah.
Now this is our budget for the new, now we can see what we can do.
Right.
Now everything else that comes in as a tenth every other month from that point going forward, man, we got a starting point.
Right.
Man, we can actually go get a microphone. We actually go, and somebody needs something, we got it already, that reserve ready to go. You see?
Yes.
Boy, don't tell me y'all ain't got a blessing plan. No. He said he got an economy for his people. Hallelujah. And it ain't got nothing to do with shucking and jiving and giving you blessed water and giving you handkerchiefs and anointing oil. And I laid on this oil right here, I got this miracle oil. And you gonna soak some money in this ministry. I'm going to give you this miracle water. You flush it down the toilet, and it'll unclog your pipes. It's so annoying that you can put it on the car, and your car has been dead and acting up. You put this oil on it, it'll start up. Come on, y'all heard all those gimmicks before, right? I want y'all to give, I want 330 people to give $2,017 for the new year, because we're in 2017 and the Father has just spoke to me and gave me a word about 2007. It'll be 2018 next year. And he'll give me a word about that next year. And then the other that, they keep going up and down on me. Y'all know y'all heard all that before, right? Ain't that good what we just talked about though? Man, very refreshing. All right, come on, read. This is another part. Come on.
And if a man will at all redeem all of his tithes, he shall add thereto the fifth part thereof.
So if a man will redeem, the word redeem means payment. Okay, the word redeem means payment of his tithes, he shall add thereto the fifth part of it. This is where they say your tithes and then your offering. So all you add is a fifth part over your tithe, which was the vow that you're supposed to be doing. That's actually where you start off, what we read with the estimations of where you start off at. And then as you begin to do your tithes every month after that, then if you want to give on top of that, you just add a fifth part of that. All right? Fifth part of whatever your tenth is. Okay? And then, come on.
And concerning the tithe of the herd or the flock, even of whatsoever passeth under the rod, the tenth shall be holy unto Yahweh.
See, what people see is, he said herd or flock. They don't see the part where it says, or whatsoever. All right? Whatsoever passed under the rod. All right? Well, we ain't gonna make sure no gold or silver pass under that rod. We just gonna let the herd pass under it. You know, that's the people out doing something else. Because the heart don't really want to give. So this message ain't for you. Come on.
He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it. And if he change it at all, then both it shall change thereof shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed.
It shall not be redeemed. Come on.
These are the commandments which Yahweh commanded Moses for the children of Israel and Mount Sinai.
All right. So payment, redeem means payment. If you redeem the tithe, you are to add 1/5 of the total value of the tithe. And that would be considered going over and beyond your tithe. So 1/5 is what? So if we have a tithe of $300, all right, or a tithe, no, let's go lower. If we have a tithe of $50, what would be 1/5 of that? $10. So if with the example of $50 is your tithes, all right? Come on, man, you got the NBA, man. You got to know this kind of stuff. Should we do $100 easier?
No.
Yeah, get your calculator out. Let's do $100. Say $100 is everybody. $100 is your tithe. We're gonna tell you what the fifth of over that above that is. Oh, I forgot, you got another calculator back there too. Come on, mother, what is it? Oh, you taking something? All right, let's go ahead and calculate.
10% of
Pass that, that's what it is.
Now I'm saying, we're gonna say $100 is the tithe.
Oh, that's the time.
That's the tithe. $100 is the tithe.
Okay.
A fifth of 100 is 20. Okay? So y'all see that? So if $100 is your tithe, okay? Not saying a tenth from 100, but 100 is your tithe. Okay? That means you made $1,000.
That's right.
100 is the tithe. Then to go over and above that, which is the fifth, you add $20 more. Beautiful.
Man, you just blew up Malachi, man. So it's
hallelujah. You robbing them and tithes because we're not going over and above. We're just saying, I'm going to give you just the minimum and I ain't going to give nothing else. But then remember, it's all about your heart anyway.
good.
I'm quite sure you're going to spend $20 on coffee for a week. No, 5, 10, 15.
That's right.
Now, coffee costs a little bit more. Depends on if you go to 7-Eleven. Sometimes we have 7-Eleven days, and some days we have the Starbucks premium coffee, expensive, overpriced coffee days.
McDonald's is $1.
See?
Right. That's right.
So y'all see what I'm talking about,
Good
right?
teaching.
The fifth of the total value of the tithe.
Good teaching.
So when you did not give of livestock, grain, or fruit,
Yes.
all which comes from your own personal crop or herd, you're supposed to add more to it. Okay? Y'all getting this?
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Today. So which of us, this is the question, growing up in this slavery under the Gentile system, has their own flocks and crops? Because I want to know why you've been holding out on us. Who here has their own flocks and crops? All right, so that's nobody. All right, but do we all have Federal Reserve notes? And we can obtain silver and gold, can we? With Federal Reserve notes.
Yep.
All right, so I want y'all to know that. I want y'all to understand that.
Pastor,
Yes.
if we do own flocks, what is the percentage and what is the percentage of the crops?
It's the same thing.
The same thing, the 10?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
But the shekels are something separate.
It's a flock.
That's the.
No, it's-
That's the estimation of what a person's value is in that particular age bracket.
and that's first of, right?
First up.
Okay.
Right, the
Okay.
10th part don't belong to you, it belongs to Yah.
Right.
Now, what am I going to do with a sheep or a goat if I don't have the flock? Now, you may have a flock, but then I don't have one. Now what? Because my inheritance, remember, I don't get the inheritance that Israel gets. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially in this modern day time, I don't have sheep and goats and all that kind of stuff, but I will receive those things, but that means I got to get myself to have something like that first. Because cities and suburbs, you'll find out, they had a certain area that belonged for the Levites to live in, okay? And that was, of course, financed and given to us because we went in and inherited the land, okay? So housing, all that stuff, I shouldn't be thinking about housing and where I'm going to live and all that. All that stuff should be financed by the saints. Numbers 18:25. What is that?
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying,
What did he say?
Let us speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithes which I have given you from them, from your inheritance, ye shall offer up an heave offering of it for Yahweh, even a 10th part of the tithe.
Okay, now we're about to find out what a heave offering is. A heave offering is a contribution, an offering, a gift. A heave offering is any offering outside of all of the other offerings you've been given. You can offer up a heave offering, an offering to Yah, an offering of grain or money, etc. It's a contribution. Like I say, we need to get insurance. We need to get. We got to pay the rent on this place. It's an extra contribution you can give as the Father has blessed you, prospered you. You see all the tithes and offers they've been given? We are some giving people, And this is called a heave offering. A heave offering. So you gave your 10th, you gave a little bit over that, which was $20. All right. Now you can give on top of that any kind of contribution, like y'all do. You bring food in, and we have a Sabbath on you that weekend, or you bring the coffee in, and that's a. Are y'all following what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's any contribution, whatever you want to contribute. Well, Pastor, listen, I just felt led to I got some coats. I went and bought some brand new coats, and I want to give it out to folks. So, whatever kind of charity or things you want to do, bring it to the house of y'all, and we say, hey, we got about 15 coats down here. We got somebody went and bought 8 bags of groceries. And listen, this is what they wanted to bless the people in the neighborhood with, or somebody that may be struggling with groceries. Are y'all see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's any kind of contribution you want to give. Heave offering.
Hallelujah.
Numbers 18 and 17. What is that?
And this your heave offering shall be reckoned unto you, as though it were the corn of the threshing floor, and as the fullness and winepress.
So he's letting you know this heave offering it can be counted just like if you gave a bushel of corn, if you had a flock, or had some kind of land or something, when you're growing it. He said you give a heave offering and that will replace, or be the same thing as if you were giving something actually from your land in and of itself. Okay? Come on.
Thus ye shall offer and heave offering unto Yahweh of all your tithes, which ye receive of the children of Israel. And ye shall thereof Yah's heave offering to Aaron the priest.
You supposed to heave the offering and give that to Aaron, the priest. That's what they would call in some churches, the pastoral offering.
Yeah.
You know, that's for Aaron. That's what for him to have something.
Christmas.
Right, when we did Christmas, right? It'd be that they would do I remember getting that those kind of thing. Pastor, this is for your Christmas. This is for your New Year, all that stuff. We don't do none of that, all right? But this is letting you know in Israel, there was a heave offering, and it was presented to Aaron the priest. Okay? I think that's probably one of the mics are too loud, Jeremiah. Turn the mics down. So, come on.
Out of all your gifts ye shall offer every heave offering of Yah, of all the best thereof, even the hollow part thereof out
So
of
the
it.
heave offering is always the best part. That's the best part. You give that heave offering of all your gifts. You shall offer every heave offering to Yah of the best thereof, even the hollow part thereof out of it. Okay? Come on.
Therefore thou shalt say unto them, when ye have heaved the best thereof from it, then it shall be counted unto the Levites as the increase of the threshing floor, and as the increase of the winepress.
So when you give over and beyond all the things that we talked about and give it in this heave, that's the Levites and the priests, that's their increase. Like, man, we run, it's like that blessing you get, that check, unexpected check in the mail, when after you done got paid that week, after you done got your income tax back, all that, and all of a sudden you got something else that came in, and like, whoa, hey, we showed up doing it. Mine wasn't even expecting this to come. I got an unexpected check in the mail, or whatever, dividend, or whatever you wasn't really expecting. That was done with the heave offers. When you give that to the Levite, it's like that, kind of an increase, the extra money, the money you didn't even realize you was going to have at the time. Huh? Come on.
And ye shall eat in every place, ye and your households, for it is your reward for the service in the tabernacle of the congregation.
So the heave offering is a reward for your what? Service in the tabernacle of the congregation. Ain't that beautiful?
Yes.
I can't get nobody to say yes but two people. Everybody else has said, okay, I'll turn it on. I'm going to turn this other TV on in my mind. Yeah, I'm going to watch that. Come on, what it say?
And ye shall bear no sin by reason of it. When ye have
See, you ain't going to bear no sin by reason of it. And this is how they get everything twisted. You know, I'm going to go and buy me a plane. I'm going to buy me this, that, and the other. They got it all jacked up. But when you give a heave offering to somebody who's speaking the truth and the truth, we ain't trying to buy us no plane and all that kind of stuff. Because right now we're in captivity. And because we're in captivity, you know, there's a lot of hurting people that need stuff. So we ain't got time to buy that. So if there's a heave offering ever given to me, no, it ain't going to me buying me a plane or a $16,000 dog or for me to, you know, do something crazy with it. All right? When money comes to me, it usually goes right out of my pockets into somebody else's hand. All right? So it says, when ye have heaved from it the best of it,
neither shall ye pollute the holy things of the children of Israel, lest ye die.
so that you know, if you polluting the stuff that the children of Israel is giving you over and above, priest, Levite, then you know you will die.
Yeah, I thought you'd be punished.
Are y'all hearing that?
Yeah.
Now, do you think I'm going to die because I'm fooling around with what y'all bringing it in? No, I ain't trying to die.
No.
I'm trying to live.
Right.
So he said, choose what? Life.
Right.
So that's what I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose to live. All right? So you ain't supposed to be polluting the holy thing.
Right.
That's what they were doing in the time of the prophets and the priests. They were in there lighting strange smoke up to the hour. They ended up dying.
Yes, it is.
All right? So we ain't trying to pollute the whole thing. They were doing it in the time of Ezekiel. He showed them the vision of the sanctuary. He said they do these abominable things in the sanctuary, and they do even greater things than that. And he was showing you all the evil stuff, how the priesthood had just got corrupted. And they were just stealing them. I mean, doing all kind of stuff that they weren't supposed to do. All right? Numbers 35:7, what it say?
So all the cities which ye shall give to the Levites shall be 48 cities. They shall ye give with their suburbs.
They should be given with their suburbs. These were the cities or the places that the Levites lived at. Or lived there. All right? They had 48 cities. So that means there's a lot of Levites there, right? But everybody was spread out. All right? So that means it ain't just one person supposed to be teaching in one city, and then it ain't like that. You know, it's supposed to be spread out with different people, you know, at different levels of being taught before. And it's, you know, we have Levites all over the place, people who are doing the work of the ministry all over every city. So, Israel, it is your responsibility to give for this work. In conclusion, whose responsibility is it to give for this work?
Israel.
All right? You are clearly looked and you see where the tithes are going. We spend money on resources, on food, on drinks, and supply. That's what we do here. Things we need. We usually spend money on things that we need. You know, when we first came here, we had to clean up. So I spent, I guess, about to clean the gutters and try to fix the gutters. And we had to go to Menards and get all kind of materials and all that kind of stuff to come in and really take care of this place to get it up and running. And other people did too. All right? But nevertheless, we spent money on resources, food, drinks, and supply. I know for a fact that I am worthy to receive the tithes and free will offerings from you. I'm worthy
Yes,
of
you
it.
are.
All right?
Yes.
And I'll tell you, if you don't tell me, I tell you.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
I'm worthy to receive your free will offerings. Now, please tell me if I'm not. Just tell me. Pastor, you ain't worthy to receive. Right, you know, and I've been taking a lot of, I just haven't preached anything like this, you know, and that tells you, out of all this time I've been preaching, why wouldn't that be the first message you preach about is giving and giving and giving? You know, I just don't, I'll do it if I don't get nothing. I've been doing it all this time and I haven't received nothing. But I'll do it anyway because this is what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
You can tell me it's something you're supposed to do, because you'll do it for free, right?
Yeah.
But I know for a fact that I'm worthy of your tithes, free will offering from you. Hallelujah. The Gentiles have made sure that we stay conquered and divided by living after their manner of lifestyle and laws they call civilization. They want to make sure we stay divided and have all these different isms and schisms going on and coming out. But we gotta know that we gotta be united. Because united we're gonna stand, divided we're gonna always fall.
That's the truth.
Okay? Deuteronomy 14:27, come on.
And the Levite that is within thy gates, thou shalt not forsake him.
Stop. Y'all hear that? Read it again.
And the Levite that is within thy gates, thou shalt not forsake him.
Did y'all hear that?
Yes.
The Levite or the one that's in your gate, you shall not forsake. Don't forsake that Levite. Father blessed you with somebody to be in your midst that's laboring. Don't forsake them. Don't forsake them. Come on.
For he hath no part nor inheritance with thee.
He has no part or no inheritance with thee. In other words, he ain't doing the same thing that you're doing.
Right.
So don't forsake them. Don't leave them out there to struggle while you eat the best of the land and do what you got to do. When you don't forsake the Levite. It's the job of the Israel to take care of their priest, the one that they believe the Father has sent in their life
Yeah.
to minister to them.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Same scripture in the same verse in the scriptures version. Come on.
And everyone whose heart lifted him up, and everyone whose spirit moved him came. And they brought for the contribution of Yah, for the work of the tent of meeting, and for all its service, and for the set apart garments.
So this lets you know, this is the scripture we read earlier in Exodus chapter 35, verse 21, is dealing with the heart. And that everyone whose heart lifted him up and everyone whose spirit moved him came. So this is not done by me telling you and forcing you and saying you better. I can't tell you better do something. I'm just telling you, if your heart is in the right place, your heart is lifted up, and the Spirit is moving you to do, then that's what you're supposed to do. Okay? Bring the contributions into the house. Come on.
And they came both men and women, as many as were willing-hearted.
Both came. Men came and women came from the same family. They both came, men and women, as many as were of a willing heart. Come on.
And brought bracelets and earrings and rings and tablets, all jewels of gold. And every man that offered an offering unto Yah.
Now people will look at this and say, see, they brought tablets, iPads. I won't have it. They'll twist the word all the way around. Love the James. Well, I just thought it right now. I thought I would just insert that for humor's sake. But you see, they brought all this stuff and they offered it up so that they could have a better tabernacle, to build the tabernacle.
Right.
Because we're building too. This building is here, but we're still building outside of this place. All right? We're still doing some things that I'm going to share with you. And I'm going to turn the camera off to share this, okay? Because it's important that you know where we are. This message should be to refine you. That's the purpose of Yeshua coming. So this is to refine you. A lot of stuff you probably already heard. Some things you probably learned new today. But the whole message is to refine you and to get you to understand where we're going as the people of Yah. All right? Shabbat Shalom. Did y'all get something?
That was good, Pastor.
Y'all clap for the word?